Oh boy, I hope everybody's doing well today. I had the opportunity to watch Channel 6 and to watch our Senate and House doing their great work, certifying these votes that come in. I've never seen such a farce or waste of time in my life. These people are getting paid $300,000 or $400,000, is it, a year? Perhaps less, but whatever they're getting paid, they don't deserve it. It's just the most pathetic fiasco that I've ever seen in my life. As a result of that, I think I'm going to run for Congress. Because if they're getting all that money for doing nothing, I think that I should be able to get a lot of money for doing nothing too. What do you think? Doesn't that sound terrible? Isn't that sad to even hear someone say something like that? Isn't it frightening? Doesn't it feel terrible to hear somebody say that? The problem is not someone saying that, whether they're jesting when they're saying it or if they really mean it. The problem is that most of them sitting there probably say that in their hearts each and every day. When they decided to run, they said, this is a big money-making deal, so I can pretend like somebody who I'm not and end up making all this money and have all of these privileges and not doing anything whatsoever in return for them. And that is the type of world we find ourselves in today. The question is how we want to participate in such a world. Do we want to join in the fray, fight from the inside like some progressive people are doing? Do we want to fight from the outside, hit the streets, protest? Do we want to do it the way I have chosen, to some vehicle, either social media or podcast or some other way like that, in order to fight back by getting information out? Or do we want to just try to get away from it and to actually fight back by building healthy communities that will create healthy people who can change this society, who can get rid of the sickness, who can heal it by becoming healing agents in the world? Because you see, the truth is that all of those ways I've been talking about are valid, and all of them work in order to make a better world. But the only way that they work is when we stop comparing one to the other and saying that one is more important than the other and that the other is not doing anything. Truth is that we all need to be working together in order to make a better world on all different levels. And we also need to be communicating so we are supporting each other instead of fighting against each other. It's time for us to get beyond all of these differences and to accept ourselves as who and what we are, and realize that there are just really a few types of people. I'll put it down to two types of people. There are those who love and care for others and who wants to build a strong community based on partnership, the sharing of our gifts, skills, talents, and resources. Then there are those who think that they are better than others and think that they have the right to have more resources than others. That is what we have to choose from in this world. The question is, which one do you want to be? And I'm not judging which one is better or which one is worse, but it is more important to decide which one you are so that you can work from that place. And if you're one who feels that you are better, more adept, and deserve more than others, it is necessary for you to at least be a person who is decent, who feels that way, so that you use your power and your greatness and your superiority to make the world better for everyone, even those who can't do the things that you do. And if you believe in partnership and working together with people, that's great too. You see? Because I think that way is the better way. Because it's harder to hide in a partnership community and to work just for the betterment of oneself and out of an ego that sort of hates and disdains those who they see inferior as inferior people than it is to work in a dominator society and climb to the top, pretending to want to help people when the desire to climb to the top is not to help anyone or to necessarily help oneself, but to fight against a deep message inside that says, I am nothing unless I can prove it by having power over someone else and by getting back at all of those people who put me down when I was young by gaining power and punishing them. And so the question remains, which do you want to be? Do you want to be one who brings forth love and justice and partnership so that you can create a community where everyone works together in love and peace? Do you want to be a person who becomes a great leader, who gets in charge of everything, who has the power to push things through in order to create a world of love, peace, and justice, whether people want it or not, fighting for those who want it but don't have the power to do so when you have the power to do it? Or are you just some nut who is seeking power for power's sake because you feel that you have no worth and dignity and have to prove that you do? Because if you're the third type, unfortunately, you'll never gain that self-esteem by putting others down. You can only gain it by lifting others up. And that is our little wrap for today. Namaste, folks. Be prepared for our revitalization of our Blog Talk Radio station at practical-spirituality blogtalkradio.com/practical-spirituality. Beware of the ones who have taken that name and who are trying to counterfeit that name. And we look forward to being with you again soon. Namaste, everyone.